Hello and welcome to Memorable Storytelling. And before we get started, I have to show you a magic trick. And to do this magic trick, I have a brand new thing of sea salt. You see it there? Sea salt. Okay. And nothing in my hands here. Nothing in my hands. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make a little cup with my hand here. Little cup. Sorry. So you can't see I'm not doing anything. I still got my salt. There's still salt in it. Try to keep my hand high here. All right, and then I need to open my salt. Right? Open it up. Okay. I'm going to pour the salt in my little cup here. Oh, it's chunky salt. It's very chunky. You guys see that? Oh, sorry. Got to keep it up high. We don't want it to fall out the bottom, right? Some chunky salt. All right. I think I got enough, right? Good amount of salt. I'm going to tip it in the cup. Tip in the cup. And then some of you are thinking, oh, he let it down out. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. And then I'm going to pack it in nice and tight. You ready? I'm going to let it go. So no salt. Okay. Then you might be wondering, okay, I just flashed my hands. I let it all go. Trust me, there's no one else in the room. And then I'm going to go ahead and see. Let's see if I can get that salt to come back. Oh, did you guys see that? I don't know if the camera caught that or not, but there's all the salt. There's all the salt. So how did I do that? We might never know. Some of you, well, I don't know. And that is marketing, right? It's the idea of getting people's attention, to want to know what is going to come next, to get their attention. And once you have somebody's attention, you can enlighten them, teach them something, educate them, ask them to buy something. And that's what marketing is all about. You might have a great product or service, right? You might be selling financial services. You might be selling aluminum straws. You might be selling boba tea, whatever it is. But no matter how good your product is, you still need to get people to know you exist and to come and buy, and then to come and buy again. So today, that's what we're going to talk about, is storytelling and the elements of storytelling. And what I just did there is the first lesson, which is hook people early. Get their attention as soon as possible, because if you don't get it in the beginning, you're probably not going to get it later. The beginning sets you up for the rest of that engagement, that time together. Now, before we move ahead, I do have a video I would like to show you.
And there's your beautiful baby.
Any day now.
Really? You're eating Doritos? He's eating Doritos on my ultrasound. Do you see what I have to do?
I know.
Give me that.
All right. I hope you enjoyed that. That had all the elements of a great story. There was humor. There was seriousness of, I'm sure most of you haven't been in an emergency, or you're not an emergency, but a delivery room delivering a baby, but it's a very, tense moment, very emotional moment. But I would like to start this out by explaining why. Why does this all work? Well, it's been over 27,000 years since the first cave paintings were discovered. Telling stories were the way that we interacted with each other. Think, okay, there's weapons. There was some kind of family, some kind of gathering, food, as well as predators, death, threats, fear. But also look at that. There's the predator. Also look, there's something breastfeeding, it looks like over here potentially, like a little animal. And so as you look deeply and closely, it says nothing. There's not a single word here. They were not speaking English yet, but we understand this, right? So storytelling transcends language as well. We've done many studies on this. This is not a psychology class, but when they look at brains in the MRI machines and brain scans, and they tell people stories, the person you're telling the story to is also having similar thoughts, and their brain is moving in a similar way. So it really does connect us as humans. And so we engage more. We're more likely to remember. And in marketing, we want people to remember our stories, or remember our ideas, our products, our services. Okay. So here are the elements. Here are what makes a good story. And this is our lesson today, which is, what are the elements that you need or that help? You don't need them all, but these are all help to make a better story. Help engagement. Number one, vertical takeoff. Let's look at the examples. Number one, my magic trick, right? Let's do something fun. Let's do something engaging. There's a moment of, did he actually do that? Did he not? We still don't know. All right, number two, deep and brief. Anything that you introduce in the story must come back later. So, for example, in the Doritos commercial, if they showed where they parked at the hospital prior to them coming out of the hospital, if they showed them where they parked, why is that important? There's nothing important about their parking spot and their yellow Bronco. And, so you might have friends who tell stories, and they go on and on and on and on and on, and you're like, where are you going with this? If that Doritos commercial, like, yeah, and then they went to Taco Bell after, and they got 10 tacos for $2. Can you believe that? Like, it has nothing to do. It distracts from the meaning of the story, what the point is of the story, right? That they want to, have that Doritos are so delicious, right? That even babies will come out early to see that, to have a bite. One more thing that stories need. Any guesses what that was? That's drama. For any of you Star Wars fans out there, when they said, Luke, I am your father, everyone in the audience was like, no way, it can't be Luke himself. The audience, everyone, it's just, their minds were blown, right? That drama makes the story, right? So here's a typical story. There has to be some sort of struggle, some sort of like, oh my God moment. So with the Dorito commercial, that moment is when the baby shoots himself out. They're like, whoa, like you were not expecting that baby to shoot out of the womb that early. So that is the struggle that they put in there. They hooked you early with the interesting, guy eating Doritos in the delivery room. Then they got you with the baby coming out, and then they ended the commercial after that with the message. So they followed the perfect story arc there, and that's how simple it is. However, without struggle, without that moment, the story's not that interesting. It's a bland story. It's a boring story, right? So stories do have to have some kind of like moment, like the Luke Skywalker moment or the Doritos moment. Now I'd like to direct you to, it's not all about words, it's about delivery. I spoke about this earlier here with the cave drawing, and let's just look at a few photos. Okay, here we have Muhammad Ali. I just take a moment, pause the screen, look at this picture, look at the people in the audience, look at the lighting, look at both the boxer on the ground, the one standing up, their facial expressions, their muscle tensions. There's a lot going on here, and it's all part of the story. Yet there's not a single word being said except what I'm saying. But if you just look at it, so in the next one, I'm not going to say anything. And I except ask you a question. Does it tell a story? Does this 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 tell a story? Congratulations. So at this point, we went over vertical takeoff, deep and brief, has to have a clear beginning, middle, and end. We talked about some of the different emotions that these will leave with us. And that brings us into our final assignment here, which is a link that you'll find in the description below in this YouTube video. You'll click it. You will need a Google login. And here are the instructions up top. And it's called memorable marketing or storytelling marketing. Fill out the following template below. So here are your questions you have to answer at the top that I'm highlighting here. The first thing to do is find a row that no one else is using. You can see I've already done row 5. If you want to be extra careful, you can move down a couple rows. So first thing to do is answer your question. Put your name, first name, and last name. The second thing to do is you can use Google or YouTube. You could search, for example, storytelling commercials or funny commercials or emotional commercials or just commercials, Super Bowl commercials. There's so many things. Maybe there's a certain brand you like. Search the brand. Maybe you really like Logitech commercials. Maybe you really like Nike commercials. And go watch some. I'd recommend nothing more than 2 minutes long. Most commercials are going to be 30 to 60 seconds, maybe 90. Two full 2 minutes is long. And then you're going to go ahead and once you put your name, you want to go ahead and paste the commercial. If you notice here, the next question over is please make sure your commercial works. Sometimes when you copy and paste things, it doesn't work. You can see here, I'm doing the Scarecrow animation video. This is a Chipotle commercial. So mine's 3 minutes. I guess you could go a little longer. This was it ended up being an app game where you can play a game in the App Store. Now, make sure it works. So what I did is I copy and pasted in my browser. It works. Did I do it? So this one I just answered yes. Please make sure your hyperlink works by copying and pasting in your own browser. So this is more of a double check because a lot of students I've had will paste a hyperlink and it doesn't work. So this question right here, question in column number I or letter I, will be double check that it works and then answer yes or no, right? So look, you already have 2 columns done. Now for the rest of this, you'll watch the video then at that point. Maybe watch it twice, 3 times, get a good understanding of it. Then you're going to answer, after you put your name, you're going to answer what is the overall emotion? Is it happy, sad, emotional? Is it adventurous? Is it a comparison? Like, for example, comparison is when Apple and Mac did a lot of comparison videos. What they did is they would, like this one, for those of you who've never seen it before, one guy is representing a PC, the other guy is a Mac, and they're having like a little battle, if you will. That's called the comparison ad, where they're comparing 2 brands against each other. Scarcity, are they saying like, oh, come act now, there's only so much left? Romance and love, is it about anger? Or is there another emotion other? Or add in your own as well. Then I'd like you to please write the description of what you saw. For example, the music, the volume, the facial expressions, the color. So this is where we're going to analyze the storytelling. Okay, what exactly happened? How did it start out? What was the vertical takeoff? What was the beginning about? Was there information that had to be there? Did they add any fluff, or was it bare minimum? Did you need to know more? Maybe there wasn't enough. How did it end? Was there a resolution? Did somebody get what they wanted? Did they not get what they wanted? And so I just like you to write, and here I'd like you to write at least 100 words. I'll write this in the thing here that you have to write at least 100 words. Right? At least 100 words here. Okay? Then you have a couple questions here. Was there a clear beginning, middle, and end? It's a yes or no question. Was there vertical takeoff? Yes or no question. Was the commercial short and to the point? Yes or no question. And then the last question is, what do you think the overall goal was for the success of the commercial? Like, what were they trying to do? What do you think, what was their purpose, right? What was their purpose? And what was their outcome or goal that they were looking to achieve by showing this commercial, by spending all that money, creating the commercial, publishing the commercial, distributing the commercial? Answer it here. So that summarizes the assignment. I look forward to checking out I'll be checking it out on the Google Doc, and so that concludes this part of the course once you're done with that. And then we can look at each other's work and compare notes. You can watch each other's commercials. Please read my answers to my I did one of the entries there on the Google Doc that, again, you can find in the description below. My email is on the sheet right here. I'm going to highlight it with my mouse. You can get my email there, and you can contact me. So good luck on the sheet. It's been fun, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Good luck.